Hello, my dear folks. Welcome to the show. Jack Chow is my name. East West is the show with G&E TV. Once again, we're trying to stretch ourselves to cover something what is not related to politics, what is not related to money, but to something here, right? Concept. We're talking about our brains and our mind. For that, I have to make a very serious announcement of my good friend, a wonderful writer, a philosopher. I call him a biblical friend of mine, Mr. Ken Hemming. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. There is no greater joy than being with you, your viewers, and talk about life.
All right, very good. My good friend, Mr. Ken Hemming, as the great writer, the word great I applied here has a definition of my own. The definition being that he is a great helper and the mentor, tutor to people, young people mostly, of course. So I'm not saying to exclude myself.
Correct.
I'm including myself in it so that we can, by flipping from pages to pages after pages from this book, though, you will learn one fact, that our life is, as a matter of fact, simple.
It can be.
Right.
Yes.
But the question is that how are we supposed to make our life simple, right? So, in other words, it comes to the title of the show, How to Live a Simple Life.
Correct.
Right? Here we have a book written by my friend Ken Hemming, Life is Simple, 100 Words to Live By. The reason I pick it up again is that just recently I reread the book.
Yes.
And it came upon me, say, hey, why don't I take another chance, right, to invite him here to talk about his beautiful book, because I felt exactly there is a different way of approaching into the books, into whatever he is promoting, right? So that's why we're here talking about his book. So, under what circumstances, sir, did you make this decision to write this beautiful book?
I would love to share that. You know, I've been alive since I was born, right? And then life is a matter of how do you want to prepare yourself for life? How do you want to avoid major mistakes? And my parents were quality people that always guided me along, I think, a righteous road in how to make decisions. So I've always been thinking about how to live life, what things are important, what is a value system one should adopt to assure a simple life in a quality way with few to no regrets. So then after I became an adult, I keep thinking about it, so it's always on my mind. Then I have a daughter, and I said, I've got to write this book for my daughter to guide her, but I'm busy as a CPA working 2,400 hours a year, so it took a long time before I got to do it. In which then I read every word in a dictionary. I wrote down about 300 words as candidates for personal positive qualities to adopt, and then I pared it down to 100 words.
You condense it to
100 words.
100 words.
Yeah, and then I just sit down, I'd research a word, then I'd pull up a blank piece of paper on my computer, and I go, okay, family. All right, what do I do? Boom. I was always prepared to write it. It just came out of me very naturally.
I see.
And I read it at least once a month, and every time I read it, I'm exhilarated.
You know what? I have something to share with you. Well, ever since the Industrial Revolution, human minds are getting expanded in a way that we feel we're the number one in the universe.
Yeah.
We're the boss.
Yeah.
Right? So, of course, it's been on like that for as long as I could recall, right now. And in recent years, it's even true so, that a human just really getting so expanded that they believe they are the boss of the universe. Now, it was not until recently did I come to a different conclusion that we're small. Matter of fact, we're too small.
Yes.
With the NASA Kepler discovery of the Kepler 56b, right? That is 1,400 light years away.
It's a long time
from us, right? Yeah. Which means that when distance, as far as we can see, is concerned, we could see, quote unquote, see 14 light years away from us.
Right.
And yet, when our reachability
Right.
is concerned, we haven't got to the moon yet. We
Yeah.
did land on the moon a few minutes and then we come back.
Right, right.
We never settled in the moon yet.
Right.
So, compared to that, we find the more we find further into the universe, the smaller we became.
Yeah, and the more likely we might find something like us.
And then within range, about one small life, though, you're talking about a maximum 100. Maybe
Oh,
you
yeah,
can,
right.
Maybe you can
For
do
us. Oops.
101.
Yeah, right.
I'll do something 50.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So you're talking about a very limited years.
Right, that's
and
right.
yet you have so many to do.
Right.
To do. So it looks like you are kind of like, well, you know, you really need to get you a good start to understand, number one, who you are.
Yes.
Before you could fix yourself a take about how to do, what to do with your day-to-day life.
Yes, that's
So
right.
that is my revolution
Yeah.
in the mind.
And it is. I consider myself a student of life. There's not a day or there's not an hour that goes by in my life where I'm not thinking about, am I doing this right? How can I do this better?
Exactly.
Am I being kind to all people? And it's joyous
Yeah, sure.
when you prepare for anything that come into. I believe I prepared for anything that can enter into my life, including death. No problem. It's going to happen.
All right.
We're all there.
And yet we are so busy with the wars, with the political fights.
That's
right?
true.
With the cheatings,
Right.
with the controversies,
Right.
with even kind of like fighting each other over money,
Right.
over
Greed.
power,
Greed. Right.
over reputation,
Right.
over glory. I mean glamour,
Yeah.
over whatever. Right. So we are busy for not a positive thing.
Wasting a lot of our
Wasting a lot of
precious oxygen on activities that don't improve any element of planet Earth.
Yesterday at the show, I was talking about desalinization of seawater.
Right.
Now let's desalinize our life
Yes.
to come to the point to see what should pure life do.
I'm ready.
Right? You're ready.
I'm ready.
So we understand that I believe my readers like this too, and quite a few of my friends read this, and I have some friends even in China read this.
Yeah.
And they wrote back to me say, "Hey, thank you for having brought us that information." And the book itself, some of the chapters look good, right? Very good.
Very
Now,
nice.
word by word, though, what do you think? Let's see. I have a few words that I picked up. Right?
Yes.
So, do you think at this present time, the digital time, what we are most in lack of is the word appreciation?
Appreciation. I have dedicated the rest of my life to appreciating every breath I take, every person that's nice to me, every activity that is pleasant. And I tell people all the time how much, you know, I tell you all the time how much I appreciate your friendship.
Yeah.
And so, and it's so beautiful to express appreciation, but before you can express it, you have to feel it. And so I don't waste, I mean, I actually appreciate every breath, because sometime I will go, and it'll be the last one. So you know, as you get older, they get more precious. And so why not focus on saying, thank you so much that I'm still able to do that. And then I have, like, you know, a 1-month-old new baby granddaughter, and there's a new life, a new set of breathing abilities, and she should live 80 years or something. So that's what I do. I appreciate it and I express it. And a lot of people think, you're crazy. Why are you always so happy? Why are you always expressing yourself? Why are you always complimenting us? It's the way
That's
to share.
exactly the problem. Lots of people take it for granted.
Right, that's right.
Take everything around them for granted.
Right.
I deserve the oxygen. I deserve the water.
Right.
I deserve whatever. I even deserve my food coupon
Right, right.
or food stamps.
Right, I hear you.
Well, that way,
You're right.
Okay. I give you an example. I remember that probably I mentioned at least once with you on the show talking about what I experienced myself. In order to do a show, I went in disguise. In common clothing, whatever.
Right.
To stay in line in
Yeah.
the morning.
Yeah.
To be among those folks who are on welfare.
Right.
Right. So. And I try to put myself in different positions.
Yeah.
Number one, around men. Number two, around women, so on and so forth, like that. Try to hear what they're talking about.
Yeah, beautiful.
I never once did I hear anything about appreciation.
More.
It is the government, it is the system that provides them who are incapable of making ends meet, which of course they deserve, yet not for granted.
Right.
Appreciation must come first. Do you think that's the point?
100%. But and also, like in this line, which has many people that have different needs, some of them just choose not to want to take care of themselves too. So there are people with the true need, and then there are people that are just lazy. You know, I mean that's life. Yeah. I mean, I always strive to not burden anybody or any society with any of my needs.
Exactly.
So, if we all have that same attitude, there'll be less welfare.
They complain about the level of the lifestyle that they can afford with the food stamp.
Right.
As compared, I mean, versus the life that I have, you have.
Yeah.
Right. Which is a point, but not that a fair point.
It's not a fair point.
They don't work as hard as I do.
You've earned everything you've got.
Okay. In other words, as a society, you must keep a comparison group.
Yes.
As an incentive to point to people, say, look at them.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to? Is this where you want to be?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can get there.
If you don't, come join me.
Yeah.
By hard working.
You truly don't need a spectacular intelligence quotient, IQ, to succeed. You need patience. You need consistent application of a work ethic and effort. And over time, you will do well.
What does upset me every time I go there is that I never hear any appreciation. Complain, sometimes bad words, sometimes 4 letters. Right, something like that.
That's very depressing.
That is very, very...
It is. Sad.
I mean, that is very discouraging.
It is.
Right. So I would say the word appreciation is the key to live a simple life. I totally agree with my good friend, writer of this wonderful book, Life is Simple, 100 Words to Live By. Mr. Ken Hamming, my good friend, is with me today talking about his book. Once again, to my audience, I'm not helping him to promote the book. No. I'm not selling any book to anybody. I'm just saying that Jack Chow, myself, as a show host, did the second time reading of the book that I discovered there is something more referential.
Deep.
That I would like, more profound. Right. That I would like to share with my audience. That's why, once again, we're picking up the book. So stay with us. We'll be right back, please.